Hello my friend, and welcome to another episode of Lessons on Learning. Quick videos, 15 minutes or less, just looking at how people learn and then using that information to create effective and engaging sessions for our learners. One of the first obstacles that many educators encounter is the act of planning out what it is that they're going to do. Sometimes we can get a little bit disorganized and confused on what to do when and for how long. Well, in this video we're going to share with you 3 key factors to consider that will help you create a very effective plan. Let's get started. There is another video in this channel that I strongly urge you to watch. It's called the 3-point planning secret, and it goes hand in hand really well with this particular video. So when you finish this, go check that one out as well. It talks about the magic power of 3s, and indeed even in this video we're going to be talking about 3 points. 3 things to consider when it comes to putting together your plan. And point number 1, it's your 3 main points. So what are 3 things that you're going to talk about? Now, it doesn't have to be specifically 3 things that you're going to talk about. It could be more, it could be 5 or 6, but can you group them together into 3 main points? So jot down what it is that you're going to cover first. Try to get it all out if you can. Try not to hold anything back. Write it down on a piece of paper, all of the content, all of the points, all of the subjects that you want to cover in your lesson. Be realistic about what you can realistically do in the time that you have, but then think about how can you group this together into 3 main points. So what are the 3 big things that you're going to cover during this session? So first, on your checklist of 3, what are you going to cover? What kind of things are you going to cover in your lesson? Number 2 on your list, what is it that you want them to be able to learn, discover, or understand? Now, try to be as specific as you can with this, and try to be as objective as you can. It's not enough to be able to say, oh, I want them to know a little bit more about this. Try and be quite specific. What exactly do you want them to be able to learn? What exactly do you want them to be able to understand and discover? The more specific you are about this, it's a little bit like having a destination on a journey. The more precise you are, the greater the chance you have of getting there, and the more easily you can communicate it to your learners too. So, number 2 on your checklist, what is it that you want them to learn or to know? Thirdly, try to identify what skills, tasks, or abilities do you want them to be able to show? This is especially true when you're dealing in something like motor skills, when you're actually teaching a physical or a practical task. It's equally important when you're teaching some kind of data-based information, when you're giving them maybe numerical information or theory-based information. Is there something that you want them to be able to do with that information at the end of your class, at the end of your lesson? So what skills, what ability, what tasks do you want them to be able to complete at the end of the lesson? So the third and final thing on our checklist, what do you want them to be able to do at the end of it all? What's your target at the end of it all? If you can get all of those 3 things together, if you can really nail down all of those 3 things, then you're well on your way to creating a really effective and useful timed agenda. So there we have it. If you can spend a little bit of time just getting these 3 things together, go and have a look at the 3-point planning video that we mentioned earlier on. That's really going to help you understand the importance of the magic power of 3. Then try to be really clear. What do you want them to learn at the end of the session? What do you want them to know or to discover or to understand? And thirdly, especially if you're teaching some kind of motor skill, what kind of skills or abilities or tasks do you want them to be able to master or to be able to improve on? Even if it's a database class, what do you want them to be able to do with that information at the end of the class, and how can they demonstrate both to you and to themselves that they've achieved that? Try to work on those 3 things, and I promise you the planning will start to come really easy. One final point, just be mindful of the time that you have, and one golden rule I always try to remember: things always take longer in real life than they do on paper. So be realistic about what you can actually achieve in the time that you've got. And remember, it's okay to split things up maybe into 2 classes, but usually things take a little bit longer than you think. Thank you for watching another episode of Lessons on Learning. If you've enjoyed this, please drop me a comment. Tell me if it was useful. Tell me if it wasn't. If there's a video that you'd like me to create to help you with the challenge or question you have, drop a comment about that too. Most of all, make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel and recommend it to any friends who you think might be able to use this information too. I'll see you again soon on another episode of Lessons on Learning. Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.